Hello YouTube, Luke here again. Next deck profile here for Y Schwartz, the Fuka Reventon, the best girl. There. Let's grab these, stick them over there, grab these zeros. Alright, starting off with these, the Fuka Feeling of Freedom in the Summer. So during your turn, they gain 1000 power. They have the Ricky effect when they're placed from the hand to the stage. That's pay 1, put the top card of your library into your clock, and then you search your deck for a level 1 or lower. This one here, Fuka always in a bad mood. This is when it's placed from the hand to the stage, you can give a character 1500. And during your climax phase, if this is the only card on your field, you can send this to the waiting room, discard a card, choose a level 1 Fuka in your waiting room, put it in the slot this was in. It's one of those ones which can really help you out early on. Fuka large back. For each marker under this, it gains 1 level of 1500. That's what the gimmick of the Fuka deck is. It's markers that give 1 level and 1500 for each one. There's 1, 4, 1, 0, 1 and 3 have this. But anyway, so when this attacks, if you have 2 or more other melee characters, it gains 2000 power for the turn. And its other effect is when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you can look at the top card of your library, and if so, put that face down on this as a marker. And so it's good thing about this is with this marker effect, you can get over the bombs, because the moment you reverse that character, you get the marker and then it becomes level 1. So you can get past those level 0 bombs. These cards here, the Einhart basic form. So it has an ability, you can rest this, give a character 1500 for the turn. Its other effect has to do with the markers. You can pay 1 and you so if your character with a marker gets reversed, this card here, you pay 1 and you put it face down underneath as a marker, and then you rest that character, so you save it and then you just give it more power. Just so you know, this does have to be in the back row though, but you're probably going to have this in the back row anyway because it's got the effect to rest it and give 1500. Alright, let's go to level 1s. Is that all of them? Yep, that's all of them. Fuka Unwinding with refreshments. So if all your other characters are Haouryu, which is everything in this deck, this gains 1500 power, so it becomes a 6/5. This though has one of those effects where this cannot use Encore at all, even by the cost of 3. So that's the drawback of having that sort of power, but it's still a pretty good card anyway. So this is the Fuka Reventon from the trial deck. It, if you have 2 or more other melee characters, gains 2000. It has a climax combo with with this, the first strike. So when the battle opponent becomes reversed, you can blind stock. Top card of your library goes in your stock. This also gains an extra 1000 from this one. This card here is Fuka confronting Rinne. So this is a marker one. So for each marker, once again, +1 level and 1500 power. When you reverse the battle opponent, top card of your library, you look at it, it goes underneath as a marker. So yeah, basically the same as this one. And so you can get these out early with this, like I did in my recent game. And now we have this is just one backup Fuka Proper Mana. It's a 500 backup, and the other one is you choose a character choose one of your characters in battle, and that character gains 500 for the turn, times the number of other Haouryu characters you have, and plus it's just got the standard 5. So yeah, back up for 500 automatically by paying 1 and discarding this, and then then that character gets the extra power. Alright, that goes over there. Yes. There's like a few backups like this in around. I've come up against 1 or 2 of them before. Okay, so this is a event counter, the Hurricane. So if you don't have a Fuka, you cannot play this. But anyway, when you play this, you choose one of your Haouryu characters and you rest it. Then you choose a character in your waiting room, a Haouryu character in your waiting room, and you put it face down underneath Fuka confronting Rinne or the Fuka large back as a marker. So it's kind of like, basically, it's kind of like a 1500 in the end, because these get 1500 for each marker, plus then they get the level, and it just gives you the, yeah, basically that's just how it works. Once again, the marker gimmick. Okay, so this is now level 2's Fuka Morning Road Work. All the other melee characters gain 1000, so this can work in like any ViVid Strike deck. Has the other effect of activates up to twice per turn. When your other Haouryu character is placed from the hand to the stage, you can look at the top. Look at the top card of your library, put it on either the top or the bottom, so you can sort of manipulate what's going to happen next by this effect. And when your character's trigger check reveals a climax card, if it has the treasure icon like this one here, you can give a character, you can give that to 1000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. Right, it has to be that character, can't be a different one. So yeah, it's quite a few different effects for a back row. So this one here, Fuka Senpai's teaching, does have a climax combo, which I'm not using in this deck. With Precious Childhood Friend. When it attacks, if you have the Precious Childhood Friend, put it to 1 card from the top of your library into your stock, choose one of your other characters, and that character gains the following ability. When the battle opponent comes reverse, you can search your library for a melee character. But I run one of these for its other effect. When this becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent is higher than the level of opponent it basically kicks in the clock. So swaps, okay, put the top card of your opponent's clock into the waiting room, then you send that character to the clock. So it's like one of those, so it's an advanced summon bomb, which sends them to advanced summon clock bomb, I guess. Well, I'll just say that instead. One Fuka setup, when it's placed in the hand of the stage, you take a look at the top card of your library. It's level 1 or lower. You put it into your stock. Climaxes are considered 0. It has the change effect for... I'm only running a couple of these level 3s, but it has a change effect for this one here. You pay 1, you discard 2 melee characters, you choose this Fuka in your waiting room and put it in the slot it's in. So, and then this returns to your hand. So it's pretty good. That goes over there. And then we have one of this backup here. It's just it's a level 2 backup. So it gives, which one is it? It's 25, isn't it? No, sorry, it's a 3000 backup. Its other effect is when you use this, you put the top 3 cards of your library into your waiting room. It's actually really good, useful in the trial deck, because maybe when the time you're using this, you might be refreshed and you might need some of these in your waiting room or something like that anyway. Okay, on to the level 3s. Might as well start off with this one you saw before. So for each other, this is Gifted Fist Fuka. this one here, okay, for each of the melee characters gains 500 power, so it can get pretty big. And it heals on play, whether you play it from the hand or by the change. Top card of your clock to the waiting room. Then we have this Master and Pupil of Haouryu, Ironheart and Fuka. It has an effect when it's placed from the hand to the stage. You mill the top 3 cards from your library to your waiting room, so the top 3 cards of your library to the waiting room. And if there's at least one Haouryu character or green event, this gains 1500 till the end of your opponent's turn. If there's 2, you heal 1. If there's 3, then you damage 1. So you can use, so if you mill 3 Haouryu characters and or an event, you can use all 3 effects, one after the other. So it's yeah, okay, I suppose. But okay, up next is the best level 3 in the deck. So Piercing Strike Fuka. If you have 4 or more other characters, melee characters, it gains -1 level in your hand, so it can be in advanced summon. When this attacks, you gain a marker. So this isn't on reverse marker. You can, when it attacks, you look at the top card, stick it underneath. Once again, plus this one actually doesn't gain levels. It just gains 1500 power. And the climax combo with Decision After the Rain. Let me just put that there. So you pay 2, and I think that's it. You just pay 2, right? Yeah. Then you put all markers that are underneath into the waiting room, and you deal 1 point of damage for each one. So if you have 2 markers, you don't deal 2 damage. You deal 1 damage, then 1 more damage. That's how it works. So like it's vulnerable to the Kimono Friends anti-burn, because that negates damage that is 1 point or less. So you can basically use it straight away with this climax combo here. So if you attack, it gets the marker, then you can automatically just get rid of that one and just deal 1 point of damage straight away if you want to. And then there's the climaxes. Saw before the first strike, which is stock soul. It's placed in the hand of the climax zone. Choose up to 1 green card in your waiting room. Put it in your stock, and everyone gets a soul. And this is the gold bar you saw before. The Decision After the Rain. So gold bars are when you trigger them. You can this adds to your hand, and then the top card of your library goes into your stock. So that's if you use the Fuka and Ironheart deck, you run 8 gold bars, because both of them have a climax combo that uses the gold bar, and there's also a level 0 that really works well with this. The Bathing Together card. But anyway, that's the deck profile for the Fuka Reventon. Until next time, thank you all for watching, and see you again soon.